Yeah, so we have gotten to the end of the month of July, and this is like a review of how the month played out. Now, July has been crazy. Can't even lie. Going from June, that was almost a perfect month, to July was crazy. Like it's insane. It was insane. I'm surprised that I didn't blow any of my accounts in the space of this of this month. This the price action of July was so insane, bro. Like crazy, crazy. And the worst part was I saw my setups a lot, right? But unfortunately, most of them I got missed. They missed me. By a few. Sometimes one peep miss entry. Crazy. It's going to full take profit. Not once, not twice, not three times. Close to like five times. Imagine taking five trades, and those five. Imagine those five trades going to my take profit. And yeah, it has been a completely different month, and it actually taught me a lot of things because that is the point. Or if not, why not? That is the point. You know, moved from almost a perfect month to a month that's gone into massive drawdown and losing it back to back. Not though my risk management saves me. I had risk management. I had a risk management plan that always saved me from completely blowing my accounts. So I was able to, you know, still be in the game because it's one thing to know how to trade and it's another thing to have trading capital. Yeah, it's another thing to have money to trade, right? So I was fortunate enough not to blow my account, and I follow my rules, one trade per day. But during the ending of the month, I started, backsliding a little bit. I started taking more than one trade. I wasn't trading my session. I got a little desperate. It does reveal a lot of things about me. Uh, I wanted the win to keep coming. Because June was dope for real. Like June was dope. Like dope. Like dope, right? And I was very optimistic going into July, and I was making plans. I was saying my account. I was like already putting, weights on my accounts, like spending money that I haven't gotten. Making plans. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make 2% this, that, and that, and that. Trust me, that is not even necessary, right? There's actually a lean out, but I didn't take it. I took this one. I took some losses here. I took like two losses within this area for a buy. But price took me at the first time, took me at the second time. So then FOMC happened, right? So I waited for this opportunity again. This is my entry model again, manipulation, break of structure, and then I got in here, full take profit. So this particular trade actually, you see, that is why trading is so. You see this one trade not only brought me out of drawdown, right? It brought me out of drawdown and made me eligible for payout. Right, it made me eligible for payouts on all my funded accounts plus my personal account because I decided to put a little money on my personal account and see how I trade it. See how I manage my emotion with my own real money, and so far it has been good. I withdrew from it. I think I withdrew like close to $400. It was a $500 live account, personal account. I mean, I just put it $500 to see how far I'll grow. I would, grow the account, make money. How much I can make from $500 if I actually blowing it, right? Going to Jordan a lot of times. A couple of times I got to draw down, but eventually I come out of the drawdown and I got money. I made money from this one trade. So this trade actually covered all the losses for the month and brought me out of drawdown and also got me into payouts. So like today now, I requested for payouts from funding peeps. from one of the accounts because I was eligible. Luckily enough, I was eligible today for one of the accounts, so I requested for the payout and I got it. That was like $400. I just took it. I don't want to waste time. And then I have like $700 on another account on that funding pips 25K account for $700 payout. So that one will be probably next week, 7 days time. So I'm waiting for that, right? And then my 100K account that was in drawdown, I had four losses. I had four losses on the 100K account. I was already down 90 90 something dollars, 97,000. Yes, I was down $97,000, and in this particular trade, I risked a lot because it looks like a very good trade. It looked like the trade that is this is my A plus setup trade. This is the trade that you know you can bet on. You have this confidence that this is your setup. That is why it's called A plus, right? That the likelihood of this setup going to your loss is very little. Like, it's almost never going to happen. It's almost likely going to hit your take profit target, right? So imagine I didn't take any trade the whole of this month because, let's say, I didn't force any trade because most of the trade I got into were mostly B plus setup. The break of structure wasn't uh, confirmed properly, and I mistake break the fake break of structure, which was a another manipulation. You know what? No, price. You know how price works. Prices are very unpredictable. You might think that what is happening is a break of structure, whereby it's just a mere manipulation. The price don't take liquidity again and continue going to a different direction than you anticipated, right? So this setup was just that setup, man. I was scared as shit. I took a whole lot of risk. I risked a lot on this trade. I'm not kidding you, right? So that 100K account is now at least up 2.6. I'm up 2.6% on the 100K account. So hopefully August price action is beautiful and clean, and I believe by August I will pass the phase one and the phase two and get from by God's grace. I'll pass the phase one and the phase two and get funded. Right? I just need to stay disciplined, apply risk management, follow my rules, trust in God, yeah. Um, Trade the trend. Don't trade against the trend. Trade the trend. You know. Yeah, so that's basically it, right? This month has been crazy. Like crazy, crazy, crazy. But I'm grateful to God, honestly, that at least I was able to get this one trade that covered all my losses. I mean, trading is beautiful. If you're learning how to trade, put all the effort you can. Put all your like your mind, everything, full focus. Try to learn it. It's actually beautiful. Imagine losing from the beginning of June. Though I had one win on the beginning of June and I took a payout, but after that, it was down. It was just like this, like a plane crash, right? Until today, which is 30th of July. Yeah, 30th of July. I'm not trading it again till August, right? So, and just one trade just saved me from all the messed up. I'm not even going to lie to you. After the trade went to my take profit, I was so overwhelmed with joy that I started crying because I needed the trade to play out. I needed the trade to be a good trade. I needed the trade to win because if had it been this trade has gone to my stop loss again, it would have fucked me up so bad that I'm likely going to lose almost all my accounts. That is how bad it was. So it was a trade I can bet on. Like, I can sell my fatherland to bet on this trade, even though you don't understand. Yeah, because it was my A plus setup, and that is why it's called an A plus setup, right? You can bet your life to it. Yeah, you might die, but there's still a chance that you might leave. Do you understand? So why not? Why not take that risk? It's a risky game. You know, yeah, it's a risky game, but so it's only those that are that know how to take risks, manage risk properly, that actually win long term. And my goal is not to just how not just to my goal is not just to make money and trade, as I've said on our previous videos, but to trade long term, to actually do this long, like 10 years, 50 years, as long as I live, as long as I can pass the knowledge on to other people long enough, as long as I can do it long, so long, like, longevity. That is very important to me, consistently. So that is very important. And that has been July's story. It has been crazy, honestly. Crazy price action, crazy experience, a lot of lesson learned, but crazy, honestly. But it's I feel like these things are needed, because when it comes to trading, when you cross a milestone, when you achieve something, right? Just like you're playing a video game, like God of War. I love playing God of War. Like when you're playing God of War now, you get to a level now, you beat one boss now, you beat one bad guy. When you go to go to the next stage to meet, maybe to complete the next mission, is another bad guy you need to kill again. That is how it is with trading, right? When you cross over a certain milestone, there's a likelihood of another milestone, a milestone bigger than the one you crossed, waiting for you ahead. So when you move, you meet that new milestone, and then you try your best to figure out how to cross it. So that is how it is. It doesn't end. It doesn't end. Even when you get so profitable, it doesn't end. You keep discovering new things, not just about yourself, about the market, about price action. As long as you're trying to understand price action, and you're not just trading like a robot, you're trying to understand why price does what price does, and all of that shit. So it's not an easy thing, yeah, but it's a necessary thing. It's something that is necessary, you know. Yeah, you see the joy on my face. Clearly, you know that I made money. Yo, bro, I made money, bro. And like, if I'm summing up all the, it's insane. It's insane. Yes, I withdrew like $400 at the on the first, yeah, on the first week of July. Yes, and after that, it has been crazy price action, right? But coming to the ending of July, which was today, I am like, the payout I'm getting, or the withdrawals I'm making are up to four figures, like in total, four figures. That is insane. That is crazy. That is crazy. You don't understand. That is crazy, right? Crazy, insane. I feel with so much joy. Grateful to God. I know this is not where it ends. I know there's still likely going to be more challenges ahead of me. The more I want to grow higher, the more the challenges will keep increasing. And obviously, I got the 100K prop in my account. So the pressure, to understand, to pass the account to, you know, the pressure of wanting to move up, it's a different kind of pressure. So you just have to build a strong stomach, a strong, what will I call it now? A strong determination, sense of determination, right? To achieve what you want to achieve, to go for what you want and achieve it. Because, okay, let's say I decided not to, like, let's say I was comfortable with my 25K account, with my two 25K funded accounts, which was okay, which was good. I believe there are some people that would have that 25K account and they are okay for this year. They just want to be making the least 2% from that 25K account until this year runs out, and maybe next year they will continue scaling up and getting more accounts. Do you understand? That people that will probably trade like that, but that wasn't me, right? I already achieved success in getting funded twice on a 225K account. That is not easy. That is not something. Trust me. You see, the stage of a trader, that stage in a trader's life where he is able to get multiple funded accounts, is a different stage entirely. Trust me, that is a different ball game. Prop firm game is a different game. It's not child's play. It's not child's play, bro. So I know what I'm talking about. If you have not gotten to that level, you might not even understand me. You do understand? So when I got funded in the 25, I was already doing well. I was withdrawing 2%, at least $1,000 every month. Yeah. Okay, last month I withdrew like last month I'd only had one 25K account. I was then working on the second one to pass the other 25K. But that month I withdrew 2 times or 4 times. 2 times. I think I withdrew 4 times. Right? Yeah, I think 4 times. Maybe three. Okay, I think I withdrew 3 times. And then I cannot even remember, but I know I withdrew more than once, right? Or one account. And then having another account, another funded account, I was like trying, okay, I will be making double. Do you understand? If I withdrew 4 times last month, this month I'm supposed to be withdrawing 8 times. Do you understand? So that is enough at some point, But to me, that feels like comfort. And people that know me know that I don't like to be comfortable when I know that I can't afford to be comfortable, right? I can't afford to be comfortable. How the fuck? So, and the plan was to first, it was to go on, like, was to move forward step by step. Like, I did 25K, fine. Then I should move to 50K, and then I moved to 100K, right? But no, I love the chat. I want to get that big chat. I want to challenge myself, What's the point of waiting? I already did 25K. Why do I think that I cannot do 100K? Right? So I said, fuck it. I used my money, one of my payouts, and got a 100K prop account, right? I didn't start good, but eventually now I'm up 2%, right? So by God's grace, I hope I get. Damn. I hope I get funded on the 100K, and when I get funded on the 100K, it's going to be a different ball game. Do you understand? It's going to be a different ball game entirely, right? Because for 100K, I'm going to target 200K. Yeah, I'm that greedy. I'm going to target 200K, right? I'm grateful to God as well. Well, I don't let me not speak God more on that. But yeah, that is it. It has been a very rough month, but a whole bunch of lesson learned, not just from the market, about myself, and that is the point of everything, right? Try to pick out the lessons from every situation, from every experience or situation of the chart, of yourself, which is very, very vital. Your emotions, right? I said I was disciplined. I wouldn't be desperate, but this month just showed me that I'm not really that disciplined. As I said, I wasn't, and I was still very desperate, and the losses actually gets to me. Yeah, I pretend that they don't, but they actually do get to me, because if they don't get to me, I wouldn't be, you know, trading when it was not my time to trade, trading when it was not my session, right? So it got to me, and it is, which is normal. It's completely fine, right? So this mode just taught me that it's okay to get through that, to feel those feelings, feel those up and downs on the chart, right? And still, function as a normal human being, and still come and look for your setup and take a trade, irrespective of how many times you have taken a loss. You still come to the chart and look for your setup, and your setup appear, you take the trade, right? And that is it. Exactly what I did. I took two losses around this area for a buy. Took the first loss here. And then the second loss, I was still looking for the buy, because I was kind of certain that the buy was likely to play out. But I guess I wasn't patient enough to wait for the actual, price action, which was the proper break of structure, right? So I was waiting for that, but see what happened. It took me out. But I still came back the next day and I saw my setup again, my range, manipulation of the range, a proper break of structure. Now this is a proper break of structure. If you look here, this break of structure wasn't a clear break of. It wasn't a even. Shouldn't even be a break of structure. You though there's a way I qualify a break of structure to be a break of structure, right? This was a clear manipulation. My range was manipulated as well, and this candle was an hour candle, which a fair value gap was created. So there was an hourly fair value gap created at this level, and that was enough reason to buy, right? Because the manipulation had happened. I thought this was the change, the break of structure, right? But it turns out I was wrong, which is totally fine. You can't be 100% right all the time. But what keeps saving you from this kind of situation is your risk management, right? So your risk management allow you to stomach some this type of losses, allow you to you know create room to take losses like this and still come back for trades like this. Do you see? That is how that is you need 100% of all these things. You need 100% of discipline, you need 100% of risk management, you need 100% of what's it called, yeah, whatever, right? If you're lacking, let's say you have 100% discipline but 0% risk management, you're not going to succeed. You're going to keep losing, right? So you need to be 100%, right? And the irony of this is human beings are not 100, can never be 100% every day. We are not robots. Only robots that can do that, but we cannot be 100%, right? So that is why this is inevitable. Losses are inevitable. That is why losses are inevitable, right? But as long as you keep doing what you're doing, you follow your rules, you apply risk management, you're disciplined. When your system appear on the chart, you take the trade, right? And this is the result. Beautiful, beautiful. Now this was another trade. After this trade, we went to take profit. I saw this other trade. I was supposed to take this trade, but I didn't want to. I didn't wanted to like, right. I didn't wanted to. What's it called? Break that rule, because my rule is one of my rule is also, after a win, one win and I'm out of this market. One win, I'm out of the market. One loss, I'm out of the market as well. So this was a good trade actually. I believe this trade is going to go to take profits, right? Though there's a strong resistance at this above this level, so that is what is pushing price. That is making price consolidate at this level. But I believe that price will do at least a 1:2, which is my risk to reward target, right? So this was the entry. Beautiful. At that fair value gap, after the manipulation of the range, break of the structure, retracement into the fair value gap, right? The same thing here. The range, my range, manipulation of the range, the break of structure, retracement into a fair value gap, or a key level, or an order block, and then, so the same rule applied to this as well. So manipulation of the range, break of structure, retracement to the fair value gap, entry. Beautiful. But I did enter the trade, which I just stated my reason why. One trade per day. But this is a trade I would have liked to enter, but I wasn't like I was so overwhelmed. I was so happy of the trade of this particular trade I went to take profit. I wasn't even bothered about today's own trade of if I should participate or not. I don't want to stress my brain anymore. Let me just you know let me just enjoy this win I just got now, and just live on it, enjoy, have a good sleep, come back next week. The market is still going to be here. I'm still going to get more opportunities on this chart. My system are still going to appear, even though they don't appear the first week, they appear the next week, you know and life is good. You just don't let it eat you up so much. Don't let it kill you. Don't let it take away your joy. Don't let it be the cause of sadness of your life, right? Which the market has the potential to do all of those things, but you just have to learn. Just as I stated, I decided not to take this trade. I know it was likely to play out, but I decided not to take it because my rules say not to trade anymore, right? Now that has keep my emotion now in a very safe level. Now I'm not bothered. My heart beat is not raising. It's not racing like you know. Bro, trading is not easy. I tell you. I just want to watch this one play out and see my system play out. And just enjoy the show. You know. Yeah. So July has been crazy. Hopefully June. Hopefully August comes correct and pay us. That is all that's all we pray for. We don't want to do too. We don't ask for too much. We just need August to pay us, right? So yeah, that is has been the story of this month and lesson learned. A lot of lesson learned. Honestly, I'm not even going to lie to you. Yeah, and my emotional buffer, keep increasing, keep piling up, keep going higher and higher. I keep stacking up. My emotional strength, my emotional muscle, right, which is very very important. Honestly, this today was insane because I woke up. I was so devastated. I was like, God, please, this trade. I risked almost everything on this trade. Please, please. I woke up and I went to the gym. And when I was going to the gym, I looked at the chart. I saw that price just triggered me on the trade, and I just closed my phone and I walked to the gym and I just did my workout without even thinking about the chart. You know, did my shit, man. I came back home, man. This shit is, man. I'm really grateful for this skill, honestly. Yeah, there are not much things to show as evidence that I'm actually making money from it, but it's cool. It's cool. It's calm. I know my time will come, right? So I'm very patient for that, about that, and enjoying the process, and moving forward step by step. So that is that for this the month of July. Hopefully August. Sh- Hopefully August is nicer, right? Hopefully August is nicer, and we make a lot of, you know, that's it. Peace. We make a lot of peace, man. Yo, so that's it, man. Peace out. Peace out.